Every piece of information in this series is a documented fact from the greatest history books. As for the faces, they are approximate representations to revive their legacy, with visual effects worthy of their magnificent deeds and the grandeur of our ancestors. In the Almohad Caliphate's palace in Marrakech, where politics intertwined with science, sat a man at the highest echelons of power. Not a military commander, but a physician, philosopher, and minister. He is the genius Abu Bakr Ibn Tufail, a man who combined the wisdom of medicine with the depth of philosophy, and was the first and closest advisor to the great Sultan Abu Yaqub Yusuf. Despite all this wealth and power, Ibn Tufail's mind swam in another dimension, seeking answers to the greatest questions of existence, far from the noise of palaces. He decided to write the greatest intellectual experiment in human history. He took his quill and dipped it in ink to begin building a fictional world whose hero is a solitary child. And as soon as the ink touched the paper, the palace walls faded, and the gate of imagination opened to a virgin tropical island where no human had ever set foot. On the shores of this isolated island, our hero, Hayy bin Yaqdhan, begins his life as a lone infant, nursed and protected by a wild gazelle in the greatest manifestation of mercy. The child grew strong, and his mind began to observe and contemplate. He saw the animals around him, but realized he was different. His mind was a blazing fire of endless questions. On a sorrowful day, the gazelle that raised him fell dead and motionless. He tried to wake her, but her body was cold as stone. He realized that something great had left this body. He did not surrender to grief. Instead, his philosophical curiosity drove him to search for this missing thing. Using sharp stones, he began dissecting the gazelle's body with the skill of a surgeon, searching for the source of life. He reached the heart and found one of its cavities empty. Here the greatest truth flashed in his mind. The body is merely a machine, and life resided in that hidden soul which had departed to its creator. He looked up at the vast sky, observing the movement of stars and planets with precise geometric precision. He realized that this magnificent universe, with its precise system, could not possibly exist by chance. And without any prior instruction, without a book and without a teacher, this human being with his pure mind and uncorrupted nature reached the absolute belief in the existence of a great creator of this universe, God Almighty. And so Ibn Tufail finished the greatest philosophical novel of his time, a novel that shook the halls of science. But this genius was not merely a fiction writer living in illusions. Rather, he was the mastermind and the first advisor to the Almohad Caliph. The Sultan never made a major decision in the state without seeking the wisdom and counsel of Ibn Tufail. His knowledge did not stop in philosophy and politics. He was a brilliant physician sought from far and wide, and an astronomer who engineered the movement of stars, leaving behind great medical works that benefited the nation. Among his greatest achievements is that he discovered the genius Averroes, Ibn Rushd, the judge of Cordoba, and introduced him to the Almohad court, becoming the tree that bore the greatest minds of Andalusia. In the year 1185 AD, Ibn Tufail surrendered his soul to his creator in Marrakech. In a scene that sends shivers down the spine, the Almohad Caliph himself walked behind his funeral procession on foot out of reverence for his great mind. The body died, but his thought did not. Centuries later, the novel Hayy bin Yaqdhan traveled to Europe to be translated into Latin and English under the title Philosophus Autodidactus. There, this novel fell into the hands of the greatest Western Enlightenment philosophers like John Locke. They snatched its ideas and built their theories upon the human mind. And it didn't stop there.
The writer Daniel Defoe cloned the entire Moroccan story in his famous novel, Robinson Crusoe, allowing the West to boast about it as their pure creation. But history cannot be forged. The origin is Moroccan, and the creativity is Moroccan. This is the Almohad Empire, which did not only rule the peoples of the earth with its swords, but ruled their minds with its philosophy. A nation that births minds like Ibn Tufail's cannot see its civilization fade. Rather, it remains a beacon illuminating the paths of humanity in every time and place. From the court of Marrakech to the island of Hayy bin Yaqdhan. Did you know that this global novel is originally Moroccan? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. From the genius of Ibn Tufail to our next hero, a great figure who will take us on a breathtaking journey into the unknown to change the maps of the world as we know them. Who is this hero? Follow us in the next episode to discover the secret together and be there.